You're listening to the Complex Action Actual Play podcast. The team is dealing with a surprise attack by a team of seagoing Shadowrunners on the open ocean as they try to head back to shore with their collected magical reagents. Let's see if they can make it out of this one despite the fact that Elric decided to run off and assault the enemy ship all on his own. Now please enjoy episode 32, A Dip in the Ocean. All right, here we are again together. You guys are all on a boat. Some of you are on the same boat. One of you is not. That one is Elric, who left the boat and went over to the enemy boat in order to take care of some business. One of which was a lady mage that was shooting some spells at you guys, and Elric took care of her and her water spirit by proxy. You guys were out in the middle of the ocean, and the reason you were out there is because you were collecting some reagents, and by following a mana storm and a mana warp that was coming up out of the ocean. You were sent out there by your Johnson Walker, who told you that he needed your help because they weren't able to get the stuff, the cargo, on time that you were supposed to transport back to Columbia. So he paid you a bunch of extra money to go on out there. So you did.
It was a stupid idea. We shouldn't have done it. This is terrible.
Leeroy is having trouble because he has a little bit of problem with water and doesn't like being around it. But he's doing okay because once you guys got attacked, he shook it off and focused and knuckled down and started to join in the fight. And you guys are because after you successfully got all the stuff and started to head back, you were rammed by a ship that just came out of the night, just dark, sleek ship that just flew at you guys. It's a Corsair Panther, actually, and it's currently right next to your fishing boat, and you got attacked by some people. You took care of one of the guys, and another big troll guy swept that guy up over his shoulder, and he seems to be heading back over to the boat that Elric is on, and you guys are, thinking about what to do. Wada, who was at the front of the boat, got attacked, shot her only arrow at one of the guys who came over with the troll. That guy managed to throw a dagger right into her chest and did some serious damage, so she's on the ground with a dagger in her chest, bleeding pretty good. Payday, Throwback, and Leeroy are all on the deck of the boat, dodging, dancing around occasional grenades that fall from the sky, but you guys have various ways of dealing with that, and I don't think have really been affected by one yet. It's just kind of causing you some distraction whenever it happens. And the troll is about to jump over to the other boat with his friend in tow. And this is, we're going to resolve this, I guess. Right now, it would be time to roll initiative. Oh, I would be remiss if I didn't remind you guys, particularly Throwback, that he's aware of the fact that while he hasn't been trying to do much about it because he's had other things to worry about, rightly so, like whipping out his shotgun in the middle of the boat and killing the, physical adept, dual-sworded guy who almost killed Wada.
Yeah, that was badass.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome. But he's got somebody shooting at his deck. In fact, he bricked Throwback's deck, but I just wanted to make sure I reminded Throwback that there is a decker out there that maybe you really can't do much about anyway. But there you have it. So let's make sure we roll initiative.
All right. My initiative for myself and Spirit have been entered.
Okay, it looks like Elric. What is your edge?
My edge is 3.
What's your reaction?
Currently 5.
All right. Well, then you don't go first.
Whee!
So the first thing that's going to happen is one of those guns that has been on the side of the boat. So you've had this one that's been shooting at you guys, shooting nets out, and there was another gun that at some point shot at you, I think,
These have been guns that have been mounted on this Corsair boat.
Correct. And I'm getting caught up here, and while I'm talking, so I'm double checking to make sure which weapons.
Is it a grenade launcher? Because we've had a lot of grenades thrown at it.
No, it's
No,
not.
those have been dropping from the sky.
Oh, it was a sonic rifle. That's what it was. Remember, because Payday got hit by that and started vomiting all over the place.
Yeah, Payday's not doing the best right now either.
Yeah, so don't forget about that. Hopefully, you have that negative modifier jotted down. Don't forget about that. You suffer from that for a little bit longer.
Yes.
No, it's neither of those two guns. There's actually some other mounted weapons on there, and one in particular is a big, pretty heavy gun that points towards you guys and begins to shoot suppressive fire all over the deck of that boat.
Continue laying prone.
Yes, I believe that Wada is safe.
Do we have the action to drop prone out of the suppressive fire, or is it covering the whole deck?
Oh, it's just suppressive fire, so you should be able to drop prone. That's an interrupt, right?
Yeah, it takes 5 off your initiative, though, unless you have a free action available.
Yeah, which I don't think we do. This is the top of the turn.
Yep, otherwise you can roll your edge plus reaction to just try not to get shot amidst the hail of bullets.
I'm going to go ahead and, in getting everything prepared for the way we switched up the voicing here, I haven't opened all my books yet. Someone tell me while I'm opening these up for the future, remind me how suppressive fire works on my end. I know I roll gunnery.
Okay, complex action, 20 rounds are used. It works until the end of the combat turn unless you take an action doing something else. And you get to select a corridor of fire. I forget exactly how big. I don't have that part of the rules open yet. You roll your normal shooting skill, and that becomes the number of hits that need to be equaled or exceeded by the edge plus reaction test to avoid getting shot by a single bullet at base damage. It also is the penalty to all actions for anyone who's conscious within the field of the suppressive fire.
All right, got it. Thank you. And it's a 10-meter wide thing, so Wada is actually not affected, but the Payday, Throwback, and Leeroy are all going to be affected by this. It's one of the guns toward the front of the boat at an angle where, anyway, the point is that the three of you guys are affected by this. So you can each choose to drop prone by removing 5 from your initiative, or you can let me know if you want to try to edge it. Or
yeah, Payday just dropped prone because he's too beat up right now anyway.
Yeah, I think Throwback's going to lunge from his chair onto the ground to avoid fire.
What kind of gun is it?
it's a big one. Would you like to on your turn, take an action to observe in detail?
No, I think I'll just hit the deck because I don't think I really completely understand what is actually going on. There were some loud noises. There was a troll in my face. I shot some guns, and then now there's more guns.
I imagine that Leeroy is like in order to get over the water thing that he's so afraid of, he's kind of like operating on like pure instinct and reaction right now. Like he's not taking time to think about much of anything. All right, so there you guys go. Everybody's dropping prone then, and yeah. And Cliff, just to remind me, you said that lasts until the end of the entire combat turn?
Yep, unless you take a different action other than maintaining the suppressive fire.
Got it. And is it just 20 bullets for the whole combat turn?
Yep,
Okay.
No recoil penalties or anything to worry about there either on the suppressive fire test, by the way. I should have mentioned that.
Especially for a mounted gun.
All right, well, now it would be Elric's turn. Elric hears a gun open up and start blasting away. Just to remind you what Elric's looking at, the female mage had come in and popped a spirit right in front of you because you had just ducked inside the cabin. I think Elric was looking for, like a rigger or somebody driving the boat, and he had ducked in there, and a spirit had popped out, and you did your thing. I think you reacted with a spirit that ended up taking out the
my spirit
mage.
engulfed her and took her down.
Right. Okay.
And I think she was actually still outside. I had closed the door behind me, and the spirit had manifested in front of me inside of the cabin.
Correct.
I've since cast a new spell that I've acquired called Spatial Sense Extended, which essentially gives me a really detailed, mapped out area. So it doesn't tell me anything about people or living things or astral entities or where they are, but I would know all the little nooks and crannies, even things like hidden smuggling compartments, most likely. And I've got that sustained currently. As long as I have that sustained, I have this sense of awareness of the building, or in this case, boat that I'm in.
That's right, and that was when I remember you telling me that last time, and that's when I told you that it was a Corsair Panther, and told you there's a image of it, and I'll let you know if you want to know anything in particular at any point, just let me know, since I know you would be aware of it.
Well, if it's my turn, I also wanted to know, is my spirit still under the orders to aid us in the combat, or does it consider its task to be done?
It still believes itself to be under orders.
Okay, good. I will leave it at that then. What I'm going to do then is use a simple action to trigger another preparation and activate an armor spell on myself. Then, consulting my new sense of awareness, I would like to use the levitate spell, which is, alas, not super speeded by the spirit because it's a bit busy right now, but I'm still moving at 12 meters per turn, which should be big enough to get around this boat. I want to get to wherever the cockpit or rigger cocoon is.
All right. You'd be aware of where the cockpit is. It's in that cabin, and you could get there easily. It's kind of like it's closed. It is a rigger cocoon, but yeah.
Is the rigger cocoon in a closed chamber, like with a locked door in the way, or can I just see the rigger cocoon by flying to where it is?
There's a locked door in the way.
Okay, I'm going to cast recklessly on the fly then to blast essentially the whole doorknob thing lock off of the door. Since I'm recklessly casting, I'm only going to go with a force. Reckless casting adds 3 to the drain, right?
Correct.
Yeah, I'll go with the force 6 then. That'd be 4 drain I'd have to worry about. I get 3 hits on the defenseless door and its lock for 9 physical, AP -6 fire.
Okay, as that comes out and smashes into the door, it doesn't totally break it, but it looks like you definitely took a big chunk out of it. You could, it looks like it still would be difficult to open, but it's definitely done some damage, and some serious damage too.
Okay, I guess I'm stopping up short at this door then. That would be all of my actions. My spirit on 25, I think, is the next one of us that goes.
All right, Spirit of Air.
Does it have any targets out here?
It, since it believes to be still in combat, there's guns shooting and everything. There is the gun, and I guess it would depend on how it would interpret it. There's the gun that's firing on everybody, but there's also the troll that appears to be retreating.
Did it get caught in the suppressive fire?
The troll did not. No, he was out of.
Yeah, I guess it doesn't really know what to do about the guns, so it would probably go with something like confusion on the troll.
Okay.
That'd be resisted by logic plus willpower. My spirit gets 4 hits. As long as it sustains the ability, it would get he'd get -1 penalties for every net hit, as he's flooded with unusual and confusing sensations.
Okay, you said you got how many hits?
4.
All right, that's the spirit's turn.
And it's pretty visibly manifest as well, just so you know.
Understood. Who has let's see. Do any of you guys have cyber eyes?
Nope.
Oh, that's
I
not
have
fun.
goggles.
Payday has contacts.
I have a weird third eyelid.
My goggles are pretty sweet.
But can he brick that third eyelid?
Yeah.
Has a device rating, so I don't see why not.
Well, it's a matter if it has a wireless capability.
Almost all devices in the 6th world do.
Isn't it
He's
BioWare?
gonna control device to keep that nictitating membrane wide open so your eyes dry out.
Fair enough, it is BioWare. Never mind, there's not a device rating.
I do take a box of drain from casting that flamethrower, by the way.
All right, cool. I mean, cool for me.
I kind of wave my wand in my hand a little bit to cool it off as there's smoke rising from it. It's only stun, of course. So did the spirit manage to get a lock on the troll?
Would you know that?
The spirit would know.
But would the spirit tell you?
Right?
He was not able to. Huh?
Okay. Yeah, it depends on how talkative it is. More likely I'd get some sort of sensation of frustration if he failed or something.
Yeah,
I don't
you
know. That's up to
definitely
you,
sense
really.
that. I was just being difficult. I don't really care if he was unable
Yeah.
to.
There might be the lone wolf spirit who'd be like, screw you didn't tell me to give you constant updates.
God, you want to play-by-play? Jeez.
Do you mean you don't trust me to do my job? I trust you to do yours. Next up is going to be 2 more grenades are going to drop out. one of them lands in between the three of you guys prone on the ground, and one of them bounces away. But still, decently close. There's 2 grenades. Again. Now it is probably Leeroy's turn. Who would go first, Leeroy or Party Girl?
Leeroy, go first.
No, you can go first. I'm looking for something to see if I got.
All right, Party Girl will continue upon her crusade to kill this troll. All right, sorry, give me 1 second. All right, firing burst fire. She gets 4 successes. He's got a -2 defense.
All right, what's the damage value? I got 2 net hits. What's the modified damage value?
13p plus the other 2 hits, I guess, so 15 in total.
Okay, it looks like you catch him with a couple of bullets, and he's annoyed. Oh, wait.
He was kind of banged up before, wasn't he?
Maybe not. Hold on, let me check something.
I thought we gave him a bit of a beating last time.
I know I burst fired him at least once.
Well, I forgot that it's going to be stun damage, and so he got. Yeah, you hit him, and that was just enough, and he falls down. And in fact, let me roll something here.
I mean, it's about to get worse too.
Wasn't he carrying someone as well?
He sure was.
Yeah, so he was right at the edge. He was actually getting ready to jump over the edge again, and he falls, and he's hanging over the troll is now hanging over the edge. But as he did, he fell, and the person he was dropping unconscious, he dropped into the ocean.
Wada, now's your time. Save him with swimming.
Party Girl scans down, sees the splash, and Payday chuckles to himself a bit.
And the troll is not back up.
Leeroy, get me out of this net, and I will.
After that, okay, so now it's Leeroy's turn.
So I'm going to roll to the side. Is it possible for me to get an angle to where I can kick this grenade towards the troll dangling with bullets?
That I'm going to call that right back at you action if you want to do that.
I mean, I was going to draw my sidearm that's loaded with gel rounds and shoot it so that I don't accidentally blow it up in front of us.
Yes, good idea. Shoot it so you don't accidentally blow it up.
They're rubber bullets.
We've been in this
Great
place
idea.
before.
No, I'm by all means. I'm very curious to find out what happens next.
Leeroy sees explosives rolling around and shoots them.
This is
It's going to
completely out
become
of
a compulsion.
so please don't see it as any sort of counsel on your actions.
Says the person who ran off by themselves.
And it was not within the blast radius of any grenades on the boat.
You are a blast radius, all right?
Would you like to attempt to throw it right back at the troll?
There's a
so the problem I have with doing it that way is I would have to stand up in the suppressive fire, which is what I'm trying to avoid by not moving a whole lot and just kind of shooting it over there.
Yeah, I'm still going to call it that because I like abstraction. The rules are good for that.
Sure. I mean, bullets are pretty direct, but is that just like a throwing test from the ground with all kinds of wonderful prone modifiers?
So once again, feel free to shoot it. I will tell you that, feel free to shoot it. We'll see what happens.
All right.
I mean, it's not going to be good. I'll promise you that.
But not good for me or not good for them.
Not...
Probably just not good for me and Payday. I'm sure you'll be fine.
That's as far as my helpful warnings are going to go. So do what you will.
Just a quick question.
You
Does Leeroy or not have the common sense quality?
He does not. But
carry on. Do what you're going to do.
I will roll to the side, wrapping myself in my yellow rubber dinghy of protection, and then shoot it away from me, preferably towards the troll.
I'm going to make you use that as if you're trying to get a result. Let's call it a called shot as well.
Sure. How many things?
How many things? It's a -4 for called shot if that's what you mean.
Sure.
All the things.
Yeah, 4 hits, shooting it with gel rounds.
What would be the modified damage value of 4 net hits?
With a Satellite Guardian, it would be 12. 12 stun.
Here's what I'm going to do, guys. And don't make this a precedent for any future rules at all. But there's no rules for me to know whether this would pierce or cause this to explode or something. So here's what I'm thinking. I'm going to roll the structure plus armor rating and see if it would go into overflow damage, so to speak. And if it does, then it's exploding.
That's way more logical than you need to be, so that's totally fine with me.
Let's do it.
Yeah, I might have just blown it up.
Yeah.
Well,
the dude just shot a grenade.
It's set on a timer, and I figure they're objects that are designed to like go and hit something really hard anyway. It's a rubber bullet.
And they are gel.
But if he does it, if he succeeds, it'll be epic.
So I was like, party girl go first because I wanted to check my guns to see if I had anything actually loaded with gel to make this shot. Because if it was loaded with anything else, it wasn't even going to try it.
I mean,
so barrier weight rating wise, I forget. How do you determine the condition monitor of a barrier?
One is kind of like its body. The other one's like the armor, sort of. But the body one is also, I think, its condition track, maybe.
If the structure rating is reduced to 0, then the barrier would collapse, essentially.
Okay, that's what we're going with. Yeah, that's what we're going with then. All right, well, Payday, Throwback, and Leeroy, I would like you all to resist the explosion of a flashbang grenade.
Frag.
The 10 stun EP -4, right?
Yes.
Anybody remember if I spent edge last time?
Sounds like something that you should keep track of.
I can barely remember my own edge.
I'm asking because in Hero Lab, the character sheet I have, I didn't update it or I didn't use any, and I don't know which it is.
I don't remember you spending any.
I was hiding in the bottom for most of it, so I don't think that I did either.
Yeah, it's okay. You got it.
I know my edge has all been spent at this point.
I'll spend a point to not take damage from that flashbang.
And I am definitely. But you can do that?
Spend edge?
To not take damage?
Oh, no, I rerolled my soak.
Yeah, he's
just being an ass.
All right, is anybody unconscious?
Ooh, let me tell you that in a second.
Throwback takes some stun, but he doesn't fall unconscious.
I also will be spending some edge because I can't even take 1 stun damage at this point.
Don't you have a stim patch that I gave you?
Stun?
I haven't been able to use it yet.
It's rating 6, just so you know.
I know. I'm just trying to get to it, and I'm okay. Thank God for edge.
It's probably in your hand, by the way, just so you know.
I know. I know where it is.
All right. So, yes, Leeroy, again, acting on instinct, sees this grenade pop down and pulls out a gun and shoots it and explodes on you guys. And you don't have time to really react to that yet, but I'm sure later it'll sink in what a crazy idea that was. Another grenade drops down. And so now it is Wada's turn.
I'd like to keep trying to get out from under this net.
All right.
Check here if escape artist is defaultable. It is. Sweet.
I believe you can make an unarmed attack as well.
Can I make an unarmed attack?
Yeah, it's agility. Oh, okay.
It's the same dice pool where you guys. I'm just rolling for thematic reasons, but I think I'm just entangling myself more. I got 0 hits. I got a 1 on 2 dice, which would be a glitch, I believe. Oh, sorry, no, it's not more than half.
Yeah, you're good on the glitches. You managed to. You're struggling and you can't move anything around. You're not really more entangling yourself, but it's just it's a net and you're in a decent amount of pain and it's dark. So next would be Throwback.
All right, so I just got hit by a flashbang. There's bullets whizzing over my head. I'm on the deck of a boat. I don't even have the action economy to yell at Leeroy at this point. I want to try to crawl away. I want to try to crawl towards Wada, actually, towards, I guess, the front of the boat, I think it was.
Okay. Why don't you? Do you know if are there explicit rules for crawling, or am I just going to say it's half your walking rate?
That makes sense.
Yeah, that would make sense.
And if you'd like, you can roll gymnastics like a running to increase the speed of your crawling.
Certainly. And my goal is to try to make it to Wada.
Yeah, I imagine Throwback's pretty used to crawling around. I mean, that's a thing you have to do.
Yep. So in addition to my normal speed, I got two hits on gymnastics.
All right. So how far does that make it? It gives you an extra 2 meters. How far does that get you?
Is it 2 per hit or is it 1 per hit?
It's 2 per hit normally for running rules, but
so then cut in half. Yep.
Yeah. So cut in half.
Perfect. So that will get me 11 meters to walk.
Wow, that is a fast crawl.
Oh, sorry. No, half that. So 5 or 6.
All right. You're making your way. You're about a third of the way there.
Okay. I guess I'll spend an action to send a message to my team. Nope, never mind. I don't have a device that's online. Yeah, no, that'll be it.
If you have, this is a question. If you have a DNI from your, I guess you would still need like a comlink or something to send messages though.
Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
don't have any other comm device.
You kind of reach for your bricked cyber deck as someone would an amputated limb.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
That makes
I'm
sense.
flying free.
And Payday, finally, it's Payday's turn.
Oh, Frank, that ghost. I am hitting that stim patch.
All right, give yourself 6 back temporarily. How long does that last?
Yes,
60
sir.
minutes?
Yeah, like an hour.
I just couldn't remember the conversion. It's like rating times 10 minutes, right?
Yeah,
It
and
actually doesn't until the end of the combat turn, though.
Oh, okay.
Immediate drug doesn't actually kick. Immediate is the fastest, and that means end of the combat turn.
and as a simple action, I'm going to change Party Girl's focus. She will be deploying explosives on that gun.
Ooh, okay. All right, we're on second pass now. You actually, yeah, never mind. So Elric is up. Yeah, you've got the damaged door in front of you.
All right, I guess I'm just going to take a moment and concentrate, and I'm going to blow this door off its hinges. This time casting a Force 8 flamethrower spell, but not recklessly. That would be 6 hits against the helpless door, so 14 P AP minus 6. And I'd like to blow an Elric-sized hole in the door if I can, or blow the door off its hinges. If such a hole appears, I would like to immediately fly through it. And use a free action to say checkmate.
Excellent. So you said it was a flamethrower or a fireball? Flamethrower, right?
Flamethrower, yes. I do not have the spell fireball. I have flame wall, which is fun sometimes for area effect, but flamethrower gets used a lot more often.
Well, Elric kind of, conjures up the energy and braces himself and shoots fire, flamethrower style, from his hands and burns away the rest of the door, and it just starts to melt and crackle and whatnot, and then kind of just falls off and blows back on its hinges, and the door is wide open now as he flies through and yells checkmate.
Yep, if possible, I'll end with my wand pointing at the rigger cocoon. My spirit is on its turn next, and it is going to be, I believe the orders that I gave it to assist us in combat, but with highest priority to be to get rid of those little small technological objects that are being dropped onto the boat.
Yeah.
So if it sees any of those, it will then use its psychokinesis to grab one and move it off the boat. And doesn't care where it is, just off.
Yeah, I did remember that. Thank you for reminding me, though. And so before that happens, right after you get in the door and you start to come through, it's actually kind of fortunate that you're floating at the time going through the door, because the boat begins to lurch away and move away from the fishing boat, and kind of anything that wasn't just kind of held down or anything kind of lurches a little bit. And in fact, Elric notices in a corner in this cabin, you've got the rigger cocoon, but there's other stuff going on in the cabin, or there's other, it's a larger cabin area, room in the cabin area. There was a person who is sitting in a chair at a small table, and he gets knocked onto the floor, and he's just laying there.
Okay, I have no further actions.
And both Leeroy and Payday, you guys are carrying guns?
Oh yeah, many.
Yeah.
Whichever ones you were most recently firing, the clips eject themselves.
Payday actually hasn't got the fire yet, so is it just the one that I'm using anyway?
Yeah, whichever one you have on you. If you have more than one, tell me what they are.
Nope, I just have my Enfield.
Okay. And so
I mean, that's 7 spoof commands or something like that.
to eject a clip, you don't have to use spoof command for that.
Well, either way, I just fired 2 guns over the last turn, and other people
Whichever one is in your hand, just tell me what they are.
Yep.
And
is the Guardian was the last thing I fired.
yep, that's the one that clip is ejected. The big gun stops firing also as the boat moves away.
Did Party Girl also get?
I'm still going through initiatives.
Oh no, I mean, did she get any ejecting nonsense?
No. It is Party Girl's turn now, though.
Well, she will do as commanded, and a thump comes out of the underbarrel grenade launcher, and a high explosive round will be hurtling towards the a high explosive mini grenade will be hurtling towards the gun.
Roll it. Give me 3 hits.
You've got 3 hits.
All right. Now roll 1d6. Or is it 2d6? I think it's 1d6.
6.
All right. It's on the boat.
Now, these, of course, go off right away because they are mini grenades
Yeah.
from a grenade launcher.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure it didn't scatter back into the fall anywhere. Okay, what's the damage on that?
That would be 16p.
Well, that gun exploded with the exploding grenade. Leeroy, it's your turn.
I will take my first, I believe it is a free action to turn my wireless off.
Okay.
From there, I will drop my guardian onto the deck of the ship. Is Trollman still hanging on the edge there?
He is. Yep.
One hand or two?
Oh, he's hanging over, like his torso, like his head and arms are hanging over.
Oh, well then he's getting a swift boot in the ass and going the rest of the way over.
Leroy's pretty strong, right? You can do that. Right?
I have strength 4. If you want, I could apply some like unarmed combat dice or martial arts to this.
Oh yeah, because you're gonna literally boot him off of there.
Yeah,
I'll let you add the flourish to it. Just give me a strength test, like
strength
a lifting.
plus body for lift carry.
Yeah.
Never mind. That's critical glitch.
Oh.
Oh, no. Leroy's afraid of water.
I hope you can swim.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
Pretty
Leroy,
sure I know exactly where this is going.
Yeah, you know where this is going. Leroy goes to kick. You know, he's all in adrenaline, right? And the boat just lurched away from your fishing boat, caused things to, because they were connected, it caused things to move around, and you lost your footing and hit the some really armored part of the troll, which caused your foot to bounce back in a weird way, and Leroy stumbles and joins the two-sworded guy in the deep.
Well, that'll be fun next turn.
It always happens to the guy that can't swim or is afraid of water.
Yep. That's why, when I saw that it was a critical glitch, I'm like, yep, I know where this is going.
Give yourself another edge back for not negating that, by the way, for taking the critical glitch.
I'm going to need it. I don't think I have any ranks in swimming, by the way.
Wada does, and it's her turn, but she's under a net.
She's under a net.
Suffering from a glitch under a net. We're the worst, actually, now that I'm thinking about this situation.
Speak for yourself. I'm learning.
All right. So, are you going to roll to try to get out from under the net?
I'm looking at my sheet trying to see what Wada has here that she would consider to use to try to get out from under this net.
Do you have a knife?
I was about to say you have a knife sticking out of your chest.
That seems like I might just cause more bleeding. I don't know. I think I'm just gonna keep struggling, trying to get out. Got 0 hits. Didn't glitch anything.
Good. All your 0 hits keep delaying my having to look the rules up again for getting out of nets.
Throwback. I'm going to post them there. And,
oh well, I'm not in Roll20, so
we got him, Andy.
Cool. Next is, speaking of, throwback.
I don't think I have another pass.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right. Because you dropped prone.
Yeah.
I see it. Thank you. So I guess next will be it's next pass then. Third pass.
Is it me or does someone else go first?
I think it's you.
The boat is going to continue to pull away from the fishing boat, and it's Elric's turn.
All right, I'm going to blast the rigger cocoon with a Force 6 flamethrower spell. I need the dice. I'm going to drop my spatial sense on the ship.
Make sure you roll your drain when you do.
Oh, I rolled it when I cast it. No drain on the flamethrower, but I got 5 hits, so I'm sure he's got some protection on there, but he's dealing with 11 physical AP -6. And I'm going to yell, "That was a warning shot! Shut her down!"
I mean, he's in VR.
I really hope he's not dead from that blast, because that would be kind of embarrassing to be talking to a corpse, I guess.
It was 11 physical, you said?
11 physical AP -6. Fire. If he does end up taking any physical damage, he's probably going to be on fire as well. I'm assuming he's going to have some sort of sensors on his boat so he can hear me talk. But I don't know. Elric doesn't really know how that works.
At least the cocoon is durable.
It gives him some extra armor, I think.
Yeah, it certainly does.
Probably won't die, but he'll probably feel it.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, you did some damage. The rigger cocoon itself is starting to glow red hot and warp some, and it's peeling away, it's breaking. And
my spirit of sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. First is the person who fell out of the chair kind of comes to his senses and says, "Oh, frag!" And now the spirit goes. And the spirit is going to remove a grenade from the deck.
Yes. I'm not sure if we resolved what it was doing last pass, which was going to be the same thing. How many grenades are on the deck?
There are none left on the deck after this turn.
Yay!
I'm helping.
Maybe you could help in some other way.
Busy drowning.
Are you in the water?
Oh yeah, I went to like kick the troll that was hanging halfway over, all the way over, and that was that critical glitch you saw.
Oh, okay. That was when I had to step away for just a brief moment. What perfect timing.
All right, it's a new combat turn. Everybody roll initiative. Every once in a while during all of this, by the way, every second or two, you guys happen to notice off in the water, light, bright explosions go off in the water from the grenades that were launched into the sea by a spirit, or I think Payday threw one time.
Yeah, he did.
If it was possible, me and Throwback just crit glitched our initiatives. How awful that is going.
You ruled first, so it's most likely your fault.
I like how you just snuck in an extra 2 and an extra 1.
The also, after the boat's now starting to pull away, you hear a window to the cabin of your guys' fishing boat where Captain Calabash is slides open, and he yells. He kind of like from behind there yells, "Are we going to get them, boys?"
We don't have a choice. They've
Hope
got
he means
stretch.
Leeroy.
Yeah, just not even answering. Just man overboard.
All right, he hears that.
Idiot overboard.
Let's see. Does anybody go before my Spirit of Air on 27?
What's your Spirit of Air's edge? I guess magic rating.
It's 4, so edge would be 3. Not that I get to use any of it.
But it does come in handy in determining things like this. What's its reaction?
Reaction is 10 when it comes to that.
What is the reaction?
10.
Okay, well, the spirit's going first then.
Okay, it's going to, hold its action to remove any grenades that drop or deal with any combatants that show up.
All right, and the next is you hear over the speakers inside the boat, Elric. You hear over the speakers, "I'm powering the boat down. Don't burn me alive in here." So now it's Elric's turn.
All right.
Oh no! First, it's oh, never mind. I have to adjust his. Okay, it's Elric's turn.
Okay, I'm going to order my spirit to instead recover anyone who is in the water and put them on our ship, prioritizing anyone who is friendly to me, which I just sort of give its impression of the party. If you wanted to make a comprehension roll, it would essentially roll 12 dice.
And so you're asking it to
I heard
bring
man overboard from Throwback, so I'm telling it to just recover anybody who's lost in the water, prioritizing people that are in my group.
Understood. Okay.
On the other boat still?
You might not have heard me. I don't have comms. That was just out loud towards the captain of our ship.
Oh, okay. I'm not sure if I would have picked it up on anybody's mics or anything.
Oh, give me a perception test. Just general perception test. Let's see if you did hear it.
Yeah, I'm specifically out of comms with the team.
Yeah, I would have
That's,
given it to you if he wasn't.
4 hits.
It's
4 hits.
possible.
I'll say that you're good because the guy was in the process of powering down the boat. The gun's not firing anymore. There's not a lot of combat noise going on anymore. 4 hits. You were able to hear overboard. So you heard.
Or he could have easily heard the as I'm drowning.
Yeah, and I'm going to just say over comms, "Stop shooting! I've got the ship!" And I'm going to say to these guys,
Just after an explosion rocked that ship from taking out the gun.
"Stand down, shut down your deck."
The guy who's in at this point, where unless anybody is going to continue to fight, they're sort of giving up. The guy who is in there kind of fumbles for the deck that was sitting on the table. He fumbles his hand on top of it like really fast. He kind of nervously and then slides it away from the table, like onto the ground to the other side of the room, and puts his hands up.
All right, I'm going to kind of nudge over to it and kind of keep my wand pointed at him. I'm going to reach down and try to turn it off. I do have a basic computer skill,
Gremlins,
but I also have gremlins.
do it. Have it explode in his face.
Roll gremlins while Leeroy, you're splashing in the ocean, probably panicking
I get like
pretty severely.
Yeah, no, it's kind of bad. I did get 2 hits on my 3 dice of swimming test, so for the moment, I'm at least not completely drowned.
Well, I think a composure test is in order, certainly.
Absolutely. Do you wish for me to apply the phobia penalties to that, or perhaps any additional situational penalties?
You're in the middle of the ocean, so yeah, there's no way you're getting out of avoiding penalties.
Right. I just wasn't sure if, because since it was a composure test as to whether or not.
Yeah, I think it's appropriate for that. Yeah.
I got 1 hit.
Okay, so you're not really swimming.
I punched the spirit that attempts to save me because I think it's making things worse.
Yeah, but
oh no, the spirit's using psychokinesis.
yeah, so you're flailing and falling under the water, and really the force of the waves is what's pushing you back up every once in a while. It's by no effort of yours that you come above to be able to half gulp water and air in to keep yourself conscious. But as you know, things are starting to fade, and you're wondering if you're going to make it out of here alive. And
I'm not wondering. I know I'm dying.
Yeah, exactly. Life is flashing before your eyes as we speak, and suddenly you're forced out of the water by seemingly nothing, and you blink, and you're not even sure if this is, you're imagining this. Maybe you're being floated off toward the heavens as some kind of cruel joke.
I'm dead. I'm 100% dead. I have somehow managed to earn enough positive karma to go up.
At least for the moment. And water's dripping off of you. You guys see him floating up, and water's dripping off of Leeroy as he's dropped onto the deck, and he's probably pretty incoherent if he's making any noises at all right now. I would imagine he's I'm saying that he's failed a composure test in the middle of the ocean. He's pretty kind of a vegetable right now, a quavering vegetable.
Irrational fear is irrational.
Thanks so much for listening. We hope you enjoyed. Now, this show would not be possible without the generous support of our patrons over at Patreon. So if you like the show and you want to help support it, then head on over to patreon.com/complexaction. Supporting can get you access to GM notes that get dropped every month, and also the chance to get selected to join us as a guest on our cast party episodes, which has been really, really fun. So if you want to come on and you want to help support us, then that's patreon.com/complexaction to help us out. The character art seen on our YouTube page and various social media places was done by Ethan Brewerton. Check out his awesome Shadowrun artwork at esbrewerton.com. The background music in this episode is brought to you by Prism Shard. To hear more of his Shadowrun-inspired music, head on over to soundcloud.com/prism-shard and give him some love. The Topps Company Inc. has sole ownership of the names, logo, artwork, marks, photographs, sounds, audio, video, and or any proprietary material used in connection with the game Shadowrun. The Topps Company Inc. has granted permission to Complex Action to use such names, logos, artwork, marks, and or any proprietary materials for promotional and informational purposes on its websites, but does not endorse and is not affiliated with Complex Action in any official capacity whatsoever.